From the Oklahoman newsroom, this is a Thunder update. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Eric Horn. Eric, we found out Tuesday morning that the NBA has suspended Mitch McGary before his third season even starts for 10 games. This has to sort of beg the question, are his days as a Thunder player numbered? Is this kind of the beginning of the end, if you will?
Yeah, I think we're getting close to the end. Mitch McGary is a guy who was already going into this season with a 5-game suspension for a failed drug test this summer in July, and now you're adding 10 games to that. So if he were to start the season with the Thunder, he wouldn't be able to come back until I think about November 23rd, and that's a if. That's a big if. Because the Thunder's added a bunch of guys on the front line this season, this offseason, with Domantas Sabonis, the rookie, Joffrey Levine, and Ersan Ilyasova via trade. So McGary was already on the outside looking in terms of playing time. So whether or not he's going to even be on this roster to begin the season, that's the big question now. And the signs are pointing to no, because they got to get down to 15 players, and they've got 16 guaranteed contracts.
Yeah, the NBA saying this isn't for another failed drug test, but it was for failure to live up to the procedural guidelines set forth in the program, and he was under some stipulations because of previous tests, so not necessarily a failed test, but some issues there, which just kind of continues to signal that he's not all in, which it seems to me, Eric, like the Thunder, when they drafted Mitch McGary, they were obviously aware this is a guy that had a suspension. He'd had some physical issues not related to anything, drug related, but this was going to be a guy they were going to have to take a chance on, and they knew that. And it seems like they sort of allowed some things and gave him some chances, but I can't imagine that at this point they see this as a winning proposition, that they can ever get to a point where he's a real contributor for this franchise.
Yeah, and if he was doing the right things off the court, he'd still have the injury troubles that had bothered him since the beginning of his career, dating all the way back to college, actually. So the drug suspension for the 5-game, and then this additional suspension for not adhering to the policy of his program, that hurts. But again, even if he was completely clean of all of the things involving the suspensions, he still wouldn't be able to get on the court because he gets concussions. He gets a sprained ankle here. He's had injuries throughout his entire basketball career that have hindered him, and they've got too many bodies for them to have to worry about a guy who's not going to be able to contribute, be it via suspension or via injury.
He's only 24. When he has been healthy and on the court, he's shown signs, some very positive signs. Is this a situation where the Thunder can actually get something for Mitch McGary, or are they in a situation where they may be cutting or waiving him?
His trade value is little to none right now, but the best thing about the way that the NBA works is that he's going to be available for these preseason games. He's going to be available to practice with the team. So I guess the hope would be that you could get this guy in camp. Hopefully he comes in and he shows something in these preseason games. They're going to be going to Spain in the beginning of October for 2 games against Barcelona and Real Madrid, and they'll come back here for an additional 4. And hopefully in those games he can show something to where somebody can say, maybe we'll take a flyer on this guy. Otherwise, you're going to have to waive or release him and just deal with it that way.
Yeah, definitely. Something we're going to be monitoring. Thunder opens camp here in just a couple weeks. Media Day on September 23rd. They'll open camp that very next day. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.